Hey, what's up, everybody? This is my review for Evolve 7. Evolve is actually broadcasting their stuff over the internet, and they did it for the first time last night. I actually went to this show. This is the first time I ever went to an Evolve show. They ran at the same venue that Dragon Gate did, the BB King's Club and Grill. And yeah, I mean, this is a very, very good show from top to bottom. Now, it seems like everyone is doing the internet pay-per-view thing. Um, I mean, I think it's okay, but it's gonna the prices are getting expensive. I mean, I think people are gonna go broke if they start ordering ROH, PWG, Chikara, Evolve over the internet, and then in addition to that, buying the DVDs as well. But I think Evolve and Dragon Gate, they're smart. They're actually discounting the DVD price if you do order the pay-per-views from them. So I think that's a good thing. Out of all the promotions, I'd say PWG is really the other promotion that really needs to capitalize on it. I'm not saying for every show, but maybe for Battle Los Angeles or DDT4, they should really start thinking about it, especially for Bola, because every single year, someone spoils the Bola results for me. As much as you want to try, you have to wait so long for the DVDs to come out that once you do watch them, you're just not that excited because one way or another, someone's going to spoil it for you. So hopefully they look into it. For Chikara, I don't think they really need it. If they're going to release the DVDs this quickly, I just think it's unnecessary. Already they're actually shipping King of Trios from SmartMarkVideo.com, and King of Trios took place last weekend. So I think that's amazing how fast they're getting this stuff out. I think it's a very, very smart move from a financial standpoint. So yeah, so we had Evolve 7, and I would say this is a good show. I would say very, very good, probably almost great. Once it comes out on DVD, I'm not quite sure. And I'm going to do star ratings here. I feel like, I've been to enough shows where I could pretty much estimate how good the show is. I know some people don't like it, but there's a lot of people that subscribe to me just to see star ratings. So I'm going to give you guys what you want. So I'll give you an estimate as far as the star ratings go. So yeah, really, really good stuff here. So let's start it off. We had Jimmy Jacobs versus Shima Xion. And this is okay. At the time I was trying to find my seat. By the way, this place was packed. I was very, very surprised at how many people actually showed up to this show. Every seat was filled. I mean, we're talking about Evolve. People have shitted on them in the past for not filling up the arena. And but it really surprised me. I think John Moxley and Austin Aries really was a big draw for this show. But yeah, Jimmy Jacobs and Shima Xion. Now they're setting up these matches, a lot of these matches on YouTube. Aries and Taylor promoted their match on YouTube, and for a lot of these matches, that they're using the YouTube as just a way to promote, and build up these matches, which I think is a beautiful thing. So try to subscribe to Jimmy Jacobs and Shima Xion's YouTube channels. I'll try to post as much links as I can in the description. But yeah, Jacobs and Xion, I mean, really didn't, as far as the actual match goes, really wasn't anything special. I was trying to find my seat at the time, really ended before it got going. But, the future looks bright for Shima Xion. They really did a good job promoting this match. People have been comparing him to Jimmy Jacobs, and then he cut a promo talking about how he was extremely disappointed when he met Jacobs. He thought Jacobs was kind of an asshole, and then Jacobs cut a promo on him countering it, saying that he's not trying to please anybody. He's not trying to be a hero to anybody. So, it's a pretty good build-up. And Shima Xion, I would agree, the guy kind of reminds you of like a younger Jimmy Jacobs, very energetic, kind of like a loud, obnoxious personality. And, you could just see it, kind of reminiscent of Jacobs when Jacobs used to do that, hush, hush, he used to do the Bruiser Brody thing. He's kind of reminiscent of that Jimmy Jacobs. So, yeah. So let's move right along. We have Silas Young versus Tony Nese. And, good stuff between these guys. We've seen Silas Young in the past. A lot of you guys know who he is from AAW. And even in ROH, he wrestled in Ring of Honor from time to time. But Tony Nese is very jacked up. He's in pretty good shape. But he could actually move, though. He could really move for a big guy. Pulled off Hurricane Ranas. A lot of high-power offense from these guys. These guys really got the crowd going. I mean, I would say this is actually better than the opener. So, good stuff there. Next up, we had Johnny Gargano, who is the wins leader in Evolve at 4-2. He took on John Davis, and John Davis is actually from the Dark City Fight Club. A lot of you guys know them from ROH. ROH brought them in sporadically. Yeah, and Gargano and Davis had a really, really good match. This surprisingly was a lot better than expected. A solid 3.5 stars. I mean, I think Gargano is the total package. He's got charisma. He can definitely go. There's some awesome, reversals and counters, and pinning predicaments, nice roll-ups, good near falls. I mean, everything you could ask for. And John Davis from the Dark City Fight Club hit some awesome high-powered offense. There's some great clotheslines, a lot of nice high-impact moves. So yeah, that was good stuff. Like I said, a solid 3.5 stars. Definitely a lot better than I expected. And Gargano actually won the match. He's 5-2, so he's the wins leader in Evolve. I have to spoil it because something comes up later in the show, which that kind of plays into. So he's 5-2. The other guy it was Chuck Taylor, who's 4-2. So I'll talk about those two guys later. Next up, we have Jigsaw and Frightmare from Chikara taking on the new team of Facade and Jason Gory. I haven't seen Facade and Jason Gory. You know, one of these guys has really long braids. They kind of dress like the Headbangers or Headbanger Mosh, or yeah, what was their name? The Headbangers, right, from the Attitude Era. You guys might remember them. They kind of had that same attire, but yeah, they looked okay. I mean, they looked pretty good. This is an extremely fun match. Jigsaw and Frightmare did a lot of cool things out there. A lot of Chikara fans were in the house. I think Frightmare kind of reminds me of a little bit of Rey Mysterio. I haven't said that before. No one's really compared him to Rey Mysterio from WCW, but I think that's pretty. It's a pretty good comparison, though. I think he's that good. And you know, Jigsaw's from New York City. He's from Brooklyn, so he had a lot of fans on his side. You know, Jigsaw and Frightmare are awesome talents, and you combine it with these two guys. These two guys look good. I mean, they had a nice, solid tag match. This kind of signals that Evolve might be doing a little bit more with tag team wrestling in the future. So we'll see what happens there. You know, pretty good stuff. 3.25 stars. Next up, we had shit. What do we have next? Right before intermission, we had the match of the night. Arguably, we had Sami Callihan versus Zack Sabre Jr. You know, these two guys, you know, almost stole the show. And so let me talk about Sami Callihan. He actually recently won the WXW 16-karat gold tournament, which is supposed to be an amazing tournament. You know, I would say he'd probably be my most improved. I know I said the most improved wrestler of 2010 was Kenny King, but I probably have to change it to Sami Callihan. You know, for what he's doing. I know everyone's not a big fan of him, but, you know, you have to admit that he's really gotten a lot of people's attention with his character, his promos, and his, you know, wrestling. He's just been having some insane matches. And Zack Sabre Jr. is coming off a Match of the Year candidate with Davey Richards from WXW, that same tournament. This guy is awesome. You know, this is the first time I've really seen him. You know, I saw him in that Bryan Danielson shoot style tournament last summer, which really wasn't, you know, a pro wrestling tournament. It was more of an MMA, you know, grappling type of thing. But, you know, this is pretty much the first pro wrestling match I've seen him have. Really, really, really good stuff. You know, he's a white guy. He's a pretty young looking guy, but he's tall, skinny, kind of a combination of, you know, like a Japanese style, and he has that the UK style, you know, the British wrestling style as well. So you combine that into like maybe a Nakajima blending in with, you know, a Nigel McGuinness / William Regal type of style. It's just a beautiful style. The guy is really, really good. I can't wait to see his match with Davey. He kind of, like, I've compared it to Nakajima because, you know, he kind of has that extension on his kicks like Nakajima does. He just does those same kind of, you know, awesome, you know, kicks where he just kicks the guy right in the chest. And but I would say he kind of has the same fundamentals that, you know, like a William Regal or a Dave Taylor would have, you know, because he is from the UK. So he's a very, very smart wrestler. Really went after Sami Callihan's arm. You know, good psychology. A lot of you know, Japanese wrestling fans that are really into, you know, strictly into match psychology will really like this. But, you know, Sami Callihan did some vicious things out there. There's an awesome T-bone suplex onto the outside. You know, just a hard-hitting matchup. Good submission wrestling. I mean, these guys busted their ass. They kill each other. This got time, too. This probably got more time than any other match. I'm going to say a solid 4 stars. That's Sami Callihan versus Zack Sabre Jr. All right, after intermission, surprisingly, there was a long intermission, which went way too long. But after intermission, we had a great little spot fest. I'm going to say spot fest because I think that's pretty much what it was. A lot of you guys are not going to like this. A lot of you traditionalists won't like it at all. But this is good stuff, man. This is AR Fox versus Rich Swann. These guys didn't botch anything, but they wrestled their asses off. A lot of really, really, you know, difficult offense that they pulled off. You know, they did a lot of crazy things out there. A lot of awesome spots. You know, Swann does a lot of RVD. Like, he does a lot of things with the Rolling Thunder. He basically does the Rolling Thunder, but plays off into it and does his own stuff out of it. And AR Fox is on a roll right now. He impressed me at Evolve 6, but here I thought he really took it up to the next level. So AR Fox, Rich Swann, really awesome, you know, fast-paced athletic match right there with a lot of insane moves. Came off really good. I think you guys will really like it. It was short, sweet, but, you know, I thought it delivered. All right, next up we have Akira Tozawa versus Chuck Taylor. You know, Chuck Taylor, along with Johnny Gargano, was the, you know, 4-2 as well, the win leader. And, you know, let me talk about Tozawa first. He's the reason I pretty much went to this show. I really was hoping for, you know, the same type of emotion that I saw in the Chris Hero match. And if I were to change my match of the year, I'm going to say Tyler versus Davey. If you watch it again, it really doesn't do anything for me like it did the first time. But Tozawa versus Hero, I would say is my match of the year if I could go back and change it. I'm actually having dreams about that match. I'm like dreaming. I just want to show people that match and just tell them this is why we watch pro wrestling. That was just an epic match. If you haven't seen it yet, try to get your hands on it. That was from PWG's Battle Los Angeles Night 2. Just a phenomenal match right there. But yeah, him and Chuck Taylor, they worked their asses off. They had a really, really good match. Tozawa went for the suicide dive. He tried to do it like 3 times in a row, but Taylor countered it. Taylor looked awesome here. There was an insane finish. He actually hit the Alpha Waffle to win the match. 12 minutes, but they packed in a lot of offense for the amount of time that they went. Great stuff from Tozawa. I really loved the match. 3.5 stars. I wish it could have went a little bit longer, but totally understandable considering the angle that they did after the match. Now, after the match is over, both Chuck Taylor and Johnny Gargano, they didn't, neither one lost. So at the same time, they're both 5-2. So they wanted to settle out who has the best record in Evolve. I guess Gargano's going to challenge Aries at the next shows because Gargano actually went over, and Rebby Sky and Larry Dallas, the guy that looks like Alberto Del Rio, came out and turned on Chuck Taylor. Gargano actually had Taylor in a crossface, and then Rebby Sky actually threw the towel in. So Chuck Taylor actually lost the match. There was a huge screw Chuck chant. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it is. I think John Gargano versus Austin Aries would be a nice main event for Evolve 8 if that takes place. All right, let me speed this up because I only got 15 minutes. We have Austin Aries versus John Moxley in the main event. Moxley's heading back to the WWE. Aries cut some great promos on him saying, Moxley, I'm not really jealous of you. I'm very proud of you. I know, even though I got cut from Tough Enough, I want to wish you luck in your career as a WWE superstar, and hopefully one day you'll get to main event Soap Opera Mania. So I thought that was pretty fun. And then Moxley cut a great promo talking about how he needs to win this match for his legacy and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, a very, very edgy main event. The crowd was really into it. Austin Aries wrestled his ass off. It's so funny to me. Aries is definitely the aggressor. He wasn't playing a heel, but he was definitely the aggressor. Moxley was pretty much the underdog the whole match, pretty much, trying to, kick out of everything Aries was dishing out at him. Really sold the leg beautifully in this match. And Aries wrestled this, like I say, he wrestled his ass off. He hit the heat-seeking missile, pretty much did everything. Aries wrestled like it was 2006. Probably the best. This is better than Chuck Taylor versus Austin Aries, I would say. Definitely had a better finish. Just a better match. Even though I was a fan of that match, I was kind of disappointed with the way he was finished and the way they. I was just kind of disappointed in that overall match, but this was great though. Definitely check it out. The funny thing about Aries to me is you look at where he was in ROH last year. He was pretty much the manager, taking it slowly, not doing much. All of a sudden, he's in a position now where he's pretty much being asked to carry this promotion on his back by having great main events. I just think it's a phenomenal story. It just shows you how quickly things can change. But yeah, definitely check out Aries versus Moxley. The whole show was great. Evolve 7, wwnlive.com. That's the name of the site. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and take it easy. All right.